Good evening. Welcome to Roundtable 57. This is our weekly event, same time every Tuesday, where we recap the previous week, give you our plans for the coming week, and after we're done, we'll endeavour to answer any questions you may have or fascinations that you may have taken to heart. The whole thing is going to be recorded for YouTube. It's going to be available in the general and news channels if you would like to watch it later or know somebody who missed it. Thank you for joining, and let's crack on. So, general news then, and all that. General chat has been recorded for YouTube. Say hi, you know the drill by now. Get the mains going. Weekly maintenance will be at 9 AM tomorrow, as usual. I don't think we've got major stuff this week. Should be fairly. Do we? Do you know something I don't?
No, there's nothing major happening other than all the stuff that's prepped to go live for tomorrow.
Cool. Okay, so there's just one thing that would affect any sort of downtime, and it's not art related. I'll go over that in a minute. Wow, what a week. We seem to have been gathering all the new players. It's been a little bit manic. I would like to remind everyone again to be welcoming. We're a nice community here. Everybody gets on. There's going to be issues. Of course, there is. Lots of new people running across other people and players who don't get on well with the community. But as we've seen over the past week, we can overcome all of that, and the problem, people will be weeded out. That said, one more thing I would like to add before we crack into art news, which we've got a metric ton of. There's been several reports of people dropping animals on people's bases, specifically somebody flying a wyvern. Just to address this, just be vigilant, get me a name, get a tribe name, a picky if you can get it. As soon as you've got something solid for me, make a ticket. I don't want to start witch hunting. I think that's unfair on everybody. When whoever it is found, then they'll be dealt with as necessary. We just need to know who it is. So just keep your eyes open, keep your spy glasses on, and if you're having problems with another tribe, just put a ticket in. All tickets are answered and dealt with fairly. We've got hundreds of players who will attest to that. Just ask around. We do everything we can in our power to keep things nice here. So just be nice, put tickets in when you need to, and just, less of the backbiting, all will be good. So what I was thinking then this week is we do games in reverse order, because we've got like a metric ton of stuff for Ark, haven't we? And then a massive, we've got a discussion to have on Sol terminals, right? Yeah.
Yes and no.
Okay.
We
So
can. I think we put forward some points, but I think we're pretty close to a decision
yes.
already.
Okay. So as we've got a lot to do and questions usually go at the end, I'm going to quickly go through 7 days stuff, quickly go through Rust, and then we'll get into the large amount of notes we've got. So 7 days wise, feedback from the players who do actually feedback and talk to me quite a bit are stating that things are running quite nicely. We have a known issue at the moment. Steam keeps randomly not authenticating with the server, which means players can't get on. So as of tomorrow's maintenance, this won't affect Ark at all. You guys will be back on as soon as possible. But as of tomorrow's maintenance, I'm going to change the ports back to the ones they used to be and see if we can nail this and knock it on the head as fast as possible. Should only take probably about another 20 minutes extra from what you're usually expecting just for the 7 days players. So that's all pretty cool. I'm going to be posting the new ports in the dojo, and there will be a server update going out. Obviously the website will be updated. I'll let you all know when that happens, and we'll see if we can nail the last issue that's been plaguing us for a while now. So apart from the above, we seem to be quite settled. If you know otherwise, again, please info in the dojo or submit a ticket if it's urgent. I can't help with issues we don't know about, so those that are playing, if you're listening to this and you have issues, let us know. Rust, all config has now been checked. We spent a couple of days with Cube last week, and I think we've got another one coming up this week. We've checked config, everything's as it's supposed to be. I think Cube is just jiggling around a few supporter perks he wants to fine tune. Testing for play seems to be absolutely perfect now, so really, really cool. And the last thing we need to do with Rust now is I need to test the wipe procedures, because obviously they happen quite often in Rust. So we need to just perfect that, make sure we're wiping the right stuff, making sure it all works properly. But that's we're almost ready now. All good. Right then. So meat and potatoes this week then is going to be Ark, of course. Fjord stuff. Again, just stop me if you need to add or elaborate on anything. So we did Titansaw food added to the shop. Kaiju food exactly the same. This is on Fjordjaw. It's already on the main cluster. DJ enabled incubation in soul terminals and egg collection, including fertilized. One note I will add to that: if we start seeing these out in the wild on silly little structures just to try and collect wild eggs, they will be destroyed. You will be in trouble. The big one this week then, flying enabled in all realms. If you didn't know and you're milling around on Fjordjaw, Fjordjaw has 3 or 4 different realms. Now you can fly in all of them with all of your flying creatures. All good. Custom loot tables are in. Fed shards are now dropping from supply crates and cave crates. Loot distribution follows the information on the website. And the structure limit is now 4,000 on Fjordjaw, down from 10.5k. Have I missed anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Doing well then. So we've got some boss changes as well, right? So I know this is something you want to talk about, so.
Yeah, we just found some. Or hang on, one sec.
I believe it was Shifty.
Yeah, I was just checking. Yeah, Shifty. Shifty was very helpful. Provided some images and recordings of his encounters with the boss and what he got from the loot. And from those awesome screenshots, I came to the conclusion the boss only has 6 inventory slots.
Wow.
So having more than 6 pieces of loot in its inventory causes pieces of loot to disappear. That includes relics, shards, element, and any other blueprints and stuff it may have been asked to drop. Wildcard clearly forgot this when they added element to its inventory. So that's meant that you wouldn't always get one of the things that you were supposed to get, whether it be the loot or the relic or whatever. You'd randomly lose one. So obviously when we added more stuff to the loot table, more shenanigans ensued. So I've had to dial the loot back, unfortunately, back to 4 pieces of loot and element and a relic. The element and the relic cannot be removed from the loot pool. It's hard coded into the game. We have no control over that.
Wow. That's the first time they've done that, isn't it?
No, they've done it with alphas as well.
Okay, with the Apex stuff. Wow. It's a pain in the ass, but
the like the alpha dudes that run around like Alpha Raptor, Alpha Rex, that kind of thing. They drop trophies.
That's what I meant by the Apex things. Yeah, the trophies they drop, the claws and livers and teeth and. So hopefully then we've got all the bosses now under control and dropping the correct things. So it's been said, pass it on, please. And awesome work, Shifty, for the work you've put in. And I know you even went out and bought some recording software. So massive thanks for that. All good. What other things have we got? So chat changes. As those you may or may not have noticed, your in-game Ark name is now synced to your Discord name. So if you've I know a few people have noticed that the names have changed and prefer a different name. If you need a name change in Ark, it's ticket time. 2 new cluster rules from what I picked up out of the notes as well. Propagators must not be left to auto-eject eggs unattended at all. And do not block access to runes on Fjordjaw. Any more you can think of that were new?
No, nothing new rules-wise.
Okay. Limit changes then. Propagators. You now have 4 propagators you can use, up from 3. With a note to use show limits and dino limits in game to check the limits and how many you actually have on a map. And then the big stuff this week was propagator changes. So element has been removed from the crafting cost of the propagator on all maps now. That's awesome. So
Yay!
those that didn't have the tech tree or access to a lot of element, you can now use the propagator. Its fuel usage is 1 Federation shards every 15 minutes, same as a Sol terminal. Mutations cost 5 Fed shards per dino, down from 50. Wow, huge. And gender change costs 5 Federation shards per dino, down from 100. This is not a permanent gender change. They will revert back.
So a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, what's the point in that?" Well, you just breed one that pops out the opposite sex, and then you put that back in, and don't worry about gender change anymore.
Cool.
It's a lot cheaper than permanently gender changing.
Oh yes, I'm going to be running one of those as soon as I can afford one. Vote rewards changes then. Now this is something I know we've got something to say, haven't we? Vote rewards have been updated. The aberrant ankylosaur has been banished, so no more duplicate ankylosaurs. The mystery dinosaur from vote rewards is selected from any dino that can naturally spawn on the map you're claiming on, excluding bosses and minions, obviously. So we should have random stats up to a max of 30 levels in every stat, a random imprint, random sex, and random colours. Anything else to add to vote rewards?
Yeah, it's completely random. So you could get something that's not particularly useful to you. You could get something that's absolutely amazing. It's complete chance. Newer players will benefit more from the dino reward than established players, I think. But it's still worth doing, given the fact you could probably power a whole Sol terminal from your vote rewards, your daily vote rewards.
Mm-hmm. And for
I'm
Savage,
thinking, I'm just trying to do
yes,
the math.
they're going to stay spayed, the vote rewards ones. The ones on the shop,
Hmm.
however, are breedable. Cool. What else have we got then? Apex rewards. Wow, lots of stuff. The mystery dinosaur from the World Boss events is now selected from any dino that can naturally spawn on the map you're on. Again, excluding boss dinos and minions.
Spotting a theme here.
Yes, there's definitely a theme going on. You would never have guessed, but it will have totally random stats. Ooh, up to a maximum of 50 levels on every stat. So Apex rewards are better.
Yes, quite significantly. So potentially, if you've got really lucky, you could end up getting a dino out of that has some very high stats.
Like a speed pursuit Jaboa or a massive melee stat slug or something. Yeah. Again, imprint random, sex random, colours completely random.
It does include also water tames as well.
Yeah.
Because they get delivered to you in a little ball, so you can pop them out when you're wet.
Plop them in your leg. Yes, 800 plus attack level dung beetles. Amazing. Boss running dung beetles.
And they flee when you hit them.
They flee when you punt them. So those are our main notes for this week. So what do we want to address with Sol terminals then? We did have something to talk about.
Yes. So the big question was Sol terminals, and I posted some of the info in the dojo on my calculations for it. It's, do we want to be able to grow our babies inside a Sol terminal? And it will work out 10 or 11 Sol shards, not Sol shards, Fed shards every 15 minutes would be the fuel requirement if we were to turn that on. Pros, well, you can pile 100 things in there and grow them up without having to feed them any meat, but obviously you would be burning Federation shards. Cons, Sol terminal automation would be less accessible for new to mid-term players because they just wouldn't have the shards to be able to run their automation.
Yeah. And again, those who just want to run automation and don't really care about growing stuff in there.
Yeah. Good point that was made by Warfare, I believe, is the main reason for people having lots of dinos out is to stack their chances of getting a mutation from a pulse, and also for the breeding. So, you want to breed loads of dinos and then pop them out, see if you get the mutation, all the rest of it. Actually growing them up afterwards is only important for the dinos you want to keep for your breeding line or grow for your raid team. Is my take on it. So I don't actually think we need to be able to grow dinos in a Soul Terminal.
That's a fair
That's
point.
where my thoughts are at.
Yeah, I think that's the point Warfare was making, Nugget. Rather than everybody having like 50 dinosaurs out all trying to breed, you're actually only raising the ones you want.
So anyway, the point is, we want to know is, do you want to be able to grow your dinos in Soul Terminal, or do you want the cheaper automation?
Yeah,
I'd
tend to go with cheaper automation. That's actually a good point brought up there with Krusty as well. Range domes on like nannies and troughs and stuff, they absolutely batter people's frames per second. So if you didn't know and you are listening, turn off the range domes, please, when you finish with them.
Okay, well, it's a small sample set, but the most you can't breed in a terminal.
That's what the propagator's for.
That's what the propagator's for. So looking at the odds, I think it's what was it, about 68 dinos in a propagator, and you've got a 98% chance of getting the mutation you want.
My best guess about why doesn't everybody breed in a propagator is a lot of people aren't aware that there is such thing. There's quite a few people out there who don't realise you can do, automation and moving your fertilizer around your farmers and all that sort of stuff. Quite a few recently I've spoken to.
So you're almost guaranteed with what did I say it was? I was looking at the numbers earlier. It was about, I'm pretty sure you've got a 9. If you're going for a particular stat, you put like 70 females in a propagator and hit the mutate, you're going to get the stat you want out the other end. Then you just pop that one back in, breed like another 60 of them, and then breed them again and mutate.
Wow, Panda. That's wow.
Okay, so that kind of solves that. The next restart on all the servers will put in the fixes for the mini bosses. The next restart will put in incubation in Sol terminals on all servers and pick up fertilized eggs on all servers. It wasn't on FuelJaw earlier. That was an oversight, but I think it crashed and then restarted, so that should be done. Stack size on Fed shards is up to 10k, so that means I can fit more stuff in boss inventories. That's it.
We fit a whole round
So
table into 20 minutes there.
I know, awesome. So this week is all about fixes, fixes, fixes. Yeah, I was surprised. FuelJaw was down, and nobody had ticketed it. I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" There must be at least one person on FuelJaw that's noticed it's gone down. Turns out, I caught it before it actually crashed. People were still playing, and it had crashed.
Jeez, that's some next level shit.
I know.
Playing on dead
Got the error
servers. It's the
too.
way future.
I got the error message too, and turns out it was a level 300. No, it wasn't. It was a Desmodus, and it was some floating damage text. So somebody was, and also somebody was dismounted too, and then possibly died.
Let's see. This modus. Your jaw. Trouble.
Yeah.
No idea. I don't know.
Well, the first error was primal dino character clear mount character. Second one was clear mount dino, and the third error was play dying, and the fourth one was play dying point implementation, and then the fifth one was execute play dying. So basically, somebody got thrown off a mount, they died, and it was involving a Desmodus. I can actually tell you which Desmodus as well. It was the 370th Desmodus on the map or whatever. So whoever has Desmodus underscore C underscore 370 is the person that caused the crash.
It's got to be something to do with John. It's got to be. Got mad bats disease going on in his breeding line somewhere. Find the bat.
You can't tell without looking at it with an admin info gun.
Oh, we're going to have a bat parade.
Yeah, everyone park your bats.
Everyone park
we
your
want to
bats.
figure out who killed the server.
So when we find out which one did it, you're in trouble.
The elixir? No, unfortunately, there is no news about the elixir. Dino Storage 2 update required before you can start trapping tames you have used the bat elixir on.
We also discovered this afternoon that bats can look through windows that are tinted one way. They're all powerful.
They have sonar, don't they?
They do, yes. But they can literally, they turn, tinted one-way windows completely see-through. Just by sitting on a bat. Yep, perv bats.
It would be very irresponsible of me to share an exploit when it's not actually in the wild yet.
Yes.
Yes, it's an exploit that's only recently been discovered, and to prevent the exploit, we had to stop people being able to trap those tames that had the buff used on. The elixir works fine. You just can't trap your tame after you've used it.
The walk of dino shame. You've been drinking.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Savage. We weren't blocking it before. Feed all your tames bat elixir. Don't do it. They could give you a soul trap, I suppose. Not a soul trap, a cryopod. Cryopods don't preserve buffs, though, so that could be problematic. Wonder how they got around that on vanilla.
Magic.
I'm pretty sure they don't preserve buffs. Anyways, I
Yes.
think we've
I think
pretty
we're
much
good.
wrapped up for this week.
We have
We're
indeed.
just
So, with the wonderful questions being asked, then
we're too busy to do shiny roulette at the moment, I'm afraid.
Shiny Roulette will be back soon. TM.
I asked a couple of questions and no one answered. I didn't hear anything. When I was going to get some beaver paste, I attacked a tree to get it out of the way and had damage numbers under the map, but when I looked, there was nothing there. That is a statement, not a question. Wait, hold up. Oh, hang on. How do we tell which one it is? You have to line up all your bats and look at them with an admin info gun. I think I've now covered all your stuff, Travros. Oh, before that. More specific. How many propagators can you have max? That one?
Yeah, I read that out. You should have been listening, you see.
Yeah, and there's an answer 2 lines below it.
Drav.
4.
Disappointed, Drav. Disappointed. Anticlimactic and all.
Is it possible to potentially double the size of terminals? Opportunity to give people incentive to not leave 90 dinos out at once.
Just make more
Why
terminals.
would you? I just want to know why you'd have more 90 dinos out at once. I store dinos in vaults. Yeah, can do that too.
This is why we have to
Terminal had
educate
egg
people.
catch. It would make sense if matched hatchery size. It would indeed, but soul terminals are slightly different. When you have a soul in them, there's a lot of data attached to that, which has to be accessible and visible to you, plus the automation going on inside it. 200 souls take a lot longer to load than 100 souls. No, we can't add new saddle BPs to the replicator. That needs a mod. Update.
An admin chest on Fjordjaw. What do you mean, quick?
Actually, yes. If there is a limit to souls, which will eventually buffer overflow.
You
They
mean?
carry a lot of data.
Do you mean the saddle loot? Treasure chests, quick. Yes, there are 30 spawn spots on Fjordjaw. They're all completely different. They're spread across all the realms. And there are 15 chests up at once. So you need to find the spawn spots, remember them, And all of those treasure chests contain very high tier saddle blueprints or chance of. They're not guaranteed. From what I can gather, people have found maybe 4 or 5 out of the 30 spots. And nobody's currently sharing their findings, and I don't blame them. No, none of them are guarded by radiation. That was literally put in for that one in the cave that everyone was just camping the one room. So how do you know you've found more spots if nothing spawned there yet? They look like small brown pirate type chests.
There's a picture of them on the website.
Yeah. They kind of look like the crates you found around the pirate ships on the beach and stuff like that.
They look like pirate treasure chests.
Yes, they do.
Stereotypical pirate treasure chest. Yar.
So yeah, get yourselves out and looking. They're on all the realms. But they're not necessarily going to spawn in the same place all the time. That's those. They look exactly like that. You get some foot charge, you get some random loot, and you get a chance at a Mastercraft or Ascendant level blueprint for a saddle.
Ah, Panda's just put a picture of one there.
That's the ones. These are all being custom added literally yesterday.
And we didn't write down the coordinates either, so we can't share the bloody things with you anyway.
Nope. I was actually discussing with John earlier on. He was saying maybe over time we'll do some nice screenshots of the general area. Probably publish them over Twitter. Just random photos.
Well, interestingly enough, we do have a notable locations thing on the site, which has screenshots of chest locations on other maps.
Yeah.
But they're all in dungeons.
Maybe if we start getting some likes and shares on Twitter, we might start posting some pictures of where these things are. Just a thought. But anyway,
I definitely think it's going to be worthwhile rolling that mechanic out to all the other maps.
Yes, I really like how that's been done actually. So we'll start to address all the other maps and clean up the lost ones and move those as well because they're too well known now.
Yeah.
It promotes a little bit of like hide and seek and looking around and finding things. Might change them up occasionally, you know. Cool. I think we are done for this week then. We've just hit 33 minutes.
What's that saddle? Ah, fellow. We've actually, 19 people on. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us while you're on holiday, Legs. I hope you're having a really good time. Right, we're going to clean up for this week then. So we do this every week, sometimes as long, sometimes drastically longer. Thank you all for being here. We've all been the Wicked Ninjas. You have all been awesome as usual. And good night, guys.
One more question, please.
One more question, please. You can't do that. I've already said it now. Oh, go on then, as it's you. You're going to have to do the ending though, Savage, after your question.
Will we ever be able to make blueprints? No. That's never going to happen. But The whole point of part of the reason these chests are down is because they only drop blueprints. High quality blueprints.
Oh my lord. Right then. Can I do the ending now, please? Can I? Go ahead then, Savage. Go on. For the video. You can type it in. It's all good. We have been the Wicked Ninjas. Go on. You have all been awesome. And good night. Thank you very much. Good night, guys.
Good night.